Hello and welcome to Sports Fan Entertainment's 32 teams, 32 days, and today we are talking about the Philadelphia Eagles as a part of my season previews for the 2017-18 NFL season. Remember to head over to sportsfanentertainment.com for the article previewing the Philadelphia Eagles. The link to this article will be down in the description box below. So we're talking Eagles today, and a lot of people have been commenting on my videos, man, make the Eagles, I can't wait for the Eagles. There's a lot of intrigue around this video. I like the Eagles this year. You know, the Eagles are a very controversial team. They're kind of like Donald Trump. Okay, some people hate him, some people love him, some people like me don't care. Okay, for the both Eagles and Trump. You know, some people hate this team, some people love this team, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the comment section below. Remember to head over to sportsfanentertainment.com for the article. So we're talking Eagles today. Let's talk about their strengths, their weaknesses, give you a fantasy outlook for this team, give you some bold predictions for this team, and end this video with a win-loss prediction for the Philadelphia Eagles. So let's start with the Eagles' strengths. We're going to talk defense today. The first component of the defense is their defensive line. This defensive line in Philadelphia, it is stacked, ladies and gentlemen. Leading the way, Mr. Brandon Graham. Now, he won't come down with 12, 13, 14, 15 sacks, but he sets the edge so well at the defensive end position for the Philadelphia Eagles, and Pro Football Focus has him ranked as the #2 edge defender in the NFL. Now, I don't think he's that high on my list, but I do think he's borderline top 5, and I'm definitely happy having him on my team, okay, if he were on my team. So you gotta love Brandon Graham. We also have Vinny Curry here at this defensive end position, and he's versatile, right? I mean, he can rush from the interior, rush from outside. He moves all over the place. This guy's versatile. This guy's gonna be like him. How about the draft pick that fortified this front in Derek Barnett, the first-round pick out of Tennessee, former Tennessee Volunteer who broke the sack record, broke Reggie White's sack record. This guy's going to come in and produce, and you're already seeing this in the preseason. And we're just talking about the defensive ends. We have another one in Chris Long, okay, who got about 4 sacks last year for the New England Patriots. He did decent for them. So we love the defensive end position in Philadelphia. We love the defensive tackles in Philadelphia. Man, they added in Timmy Jernigan. They traded a pick for him. They added him to the fold. How about Fletcher Cox? This guy's next to Jernigan. You have Cox and Jernigan as your interior rushers. Bo Allen as some decent depth behind those guys. Oh my goodness, the defensive line in Philadelphia. I've been looking at each and every team. As y'all know, on paper, it's the best defensive line in the NFL, man. I'm telling y'all that right now. This defensive line is freaking stacked. But we move on to the linebackers, man, and they're talented as well. Jordan Hicks leading the way in the middle. Absolutely superb in coverage is Mr. Jordan Hicks, man. This guy continues to play well. Can't wait to see what he does this upcoming year as he ages and gets even better, man. He's not even a veteran yet, really, in terms of the NFL. What will he look like as a 5, 6, 7-year vet? We will find out. I can't wait to see it. Nigel Brattle. This guy played really well for y'all last year, former Buffalo Bill. He's played better for y'all than he has for them in the past, so I really love Nigel Brattle here for the linebacker core. Michael Kendricks, whom you guys always are seeking to trade for some reason. I think he's good. I think teams would like to have him, but the price never really meets what the Eagles are looking for. But regardless, I like the linebackers here in Philadelphia. Don't love the depth here. You have Camus, Grugier-Hill, Najee Good. I don't really know these guys. Grugier-Hill, I think he was supposed to be like a late round pick for you guys, or maybe went undrafted, but I don't trust this guy. But still, I like the starting linebackers in Philadelphia. And we move on to one other strength. And we have to look at the safeties, man. Malcolm Jenkins, the strong safety that's all over the field. I mean, this guy just moves around. He's ridiculous how much he moves around. Rodney McLeod, former LA Rams, St. Louis Rams. This guy's come in. He's played really well for the Eagles last year. Corey Graham, okay, former Buffalo Bill. Again, another guy that has experience with Jim Schwartz, man. So you like this guy. And again, just beyond the roster, man, keeping Jim Schwartz was really good for this football team. And the talent that they have is just really ridiculous. practice. So you have Corey Graham as depth here. Jalen Watkins and Terrence Brooks also decent depth here for this position. The safeties have talent and they have depth. Good. Love that position for the Philadelphia Eagles. Weaknesses. We have to look at the cornerback position. Okay, so you guys just traded for Ronald, Darby, former Buffalo Bill. And look, I like this guy. In fact, I really loved that trade. But still, the cornerback position is a weakness for this football team. Darby won't come down with a lot of interceptions. Jalen Mills last year, man, he struggled dog. Okay, he was a rookie last year. I understand that. 7th-round pick out of LSU. But, man, he was not great at all. Patrick Robinson is here at this position. I don't trust this guy. Sidney Jones won't play this year. Ron Brooks stinks. We saw that on display last year. And Rasul Douglas, whom you guys took in the 2nd or 3rd round out of West Virginia, he's been struggling. As Jim Schwartz, he'll tell you, this guy's been struggling. So we do not love our current cornerback depth chart. I think Darby will be a decent #1 corner for you. Jalen Mills, hopefully he can improve and be a good #2. Or Patrick Robinson, hopefully he's a good #2, because that is the most concerning thing right now. Now, the good news is a pass rush will really help to alleviate pressure on these cornerbacks. But, man, a lot of quarterbacks are just going to throw the ball up to certain areas, and these cornerbacks still won't be able to do anything about it. So that is concerning. We look at the last weakness for this football team, and to me, it's the running back position. I know if you look at LeGarrette Blount's stats last year, you're going to say it's not a weakness at all. He had over 1,100 rushing yards, 18 touchdowns. I don't care. Okay, you've seen him in preseason thus far. He can't get any sort of yards. Behind this very good Eagles offensive line, we've seen what he's done for other teams beyond the Patriots. He hasn't been very good throughout his entire NFL career. I mean, it's been a while, but he's never really made a huge impact in this league. I'm not encouraged by this guy. Even Pro Football Focus gave him a bad grade. He's just not that good anymore. Last year, 3.9 yards per carry, next to Tom Brady. Just as a goal line back, he's good, but as a starting running back, he's just not. And y'all know this. Think about this, man. If this guy was starting for the Jacksonville Jaguars or the Cleveland Browns, would you feel confident in the running back position? No. But because he's an Eagle fans are like, oh, okay, this guy's going to do something for us. No. Would he do something for Browns? No, he wouldn't. Okay, let's be honest. This guy, we can't trust this guy. But there's decent depth here. Okay, I must say that. Darren Sproles, this guy comes in the receiving back, man. He makes moves. He gets first downs. He makes plays out of the backfield in the receiving game. Love him. Now, you guys also drafted Donnel Pumphey. Okay, this guy in the 4th round, I believe you guys took him. I'm intrigued by this guy. And last year, y'all took Wendell Smallwood. Also a guy that I'm intrigued by. One of those guys should be on this roster. And hell, I'll tell you this right now. Personally, if Blount continues to look this bad in preseason and in training camp, he has not looked good from what I've heard, I would have no problem if they cut Blount. Honestly, they need to have this conversation. I know we like the name LeGarrette Blount, but if he's not getting yards in preseason, he's not looking good in training camp. Let's go with these young guys, and hopefully one of them can solidify themselves as a starter. But the Eagles, to me, really messed up not solidifying this position this season, unfortunately. And Ryan Matthews, by the way, has been cut. We look at the positions that are neither strengths nor weaknesses for this football team. The quarterback position. Okay, people. So, I know we love Carson Wentz. Okay, Eagle fans, I didn't make an entire video about this because I just have a whole debate about this. Eagle fans, here's the thing about Carson Wentz. I'm very encouraged by Carson Wentz. Obviously, the natural debate is Carson Wentz versus Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is better, period. It's not even close. I understand. Dak Prescott had a better offensive line. Although, you Eagle fans love to tell us how good your offensive line is, but okay. The Cowboys had a better offensive line and they had a better running game. The wide receivers were also better, but that does not make up the difference between a 23-4 touchdown to interception ratio and a 16-14 touchdown to interception ratio. Carson Wentz threw too many interceptions last season and not nearly enough touchdowns. 16 touchdowns in 16 games. And I know what Eagle fans love to say. It's because Lane Johnson was out. And you know what? You may be right. But if your quarterback goes from being really good to pretty bad because your right tackle is out, maybe he's not that good. Because Tom Brady is still good if one of his offensive linemen gets hurt. Ben Roethlisberger is still good if one of his offensive linemen gets hurt. If you're telling me Carson Wentz, his entire career depends on his right tackle, we have problems with Carson Wentz. That's not the argument. The argument is he was a rookie. He got off to a good start. And then he faced some tougher teams and he struggled. And that's okay. Guess what? This season he's going to improve. But for right now, he's not a huge strength. There are plenty of other positions on this roster that are better than the quarterback position, but he's definitely not a weakness either. But for right now, Prescott over Wentz for right now until Wentz proves otherwise. And I think he may end up doing so. And Wentz right now, not that good. He's decent. I think he will end up being good. But 16 touchdowns in 16 games and 14 interceptions. I know there were drops and this and that. 16 to 14, including some bad games and a lot of L's in the middle of the season, not good. He's decent right now. He will end up being very good. And you'll look back at this Carson Wentz and say, yeah, he wasn't very good. This new Carson Wentz is much better. We move on to the wide receivers, okay? Alshon Jeffery, will he be healthy? I don't know. If he is, he'll be great. If he's not, he'll be pretty good still, right? He broke 1,000 yards last season despite only playing 12 games, so I like Jeffrey, but health is a concern. Torrey Smith, not very good. Drops a lot of balls. Really struggled last year for the 49ers. I think he'll be better than what he was for the 49ers, but not much better. That concerns me. Jordan Matthews, out the window. Nelson Aguilar. You know, people have already written off Nelson Aguilar, but, you know, let's see, man, because apparently he's looking really good. Let's see how he looks in the game. I'm actually encouraged by this guy, Nelson Aguilar. I mean, I've seen this story before, so I'm intrigued by Aguilar. We'll see when the season rolls around. We also have Shelton, Gibson, and Matt Collins, the draft picks. We'll see what they do. The position is okay, but it's not great right now. They didn't improve it enough to me. I know they added Smith and Jeffrey. I like Jeffrey, but Smith isn't great. Matthews is now gone, which was a good trade. Again, I like the trade, but it hurts your wide receiver core. It's on shaky ground right now, the wide receiver core. Tight end position, I like. But right now, the tight end position in the NFL is so strong that I cannot call this one a strength relative to the rest of the NFL because you got all kinds of tight ends in the league now. Travis Kelce, Rob Gronkowski, Delaney Walker, the list goes on and on and on and on. But Ertz is good. Brett Selleck is good. It's definitely a nice tight end duo in Philadelphia. And the cornerbacks, look at them right now. Ronald, Darby. Oh, I already talked about the cornerbacks. All right, so we move on to my fantasy projections for the Philadelphia Eagles. Carson Wentz, 4,100 passing yards, 25 touchdowns to 12 interceptions. Okay, so this Carson Wentz will blow last year's Carson Wentz out of the water. You're going to look at this Carson Wentz and say, okay, this guy's pretty freaking good. And then you'll be debating whether or not this is a top 10 quarterback. And I don't think he's going to reach that level, but he could, right? This is production. This is good quarterback play. Running back, LeGarrette Blount. Okay, 150 carries, 580 yards, 5 touchdowns. I don't expect much of anything. I don't think he's going to be very good this year. I really don't. I think the Eagles did not do enough for this position right now. It concerns me. And wide receiver Alshon Jeffery, 12 games, 80 catches, 1,050 yards, and 7 touchdowns. A very good year, but again, I only have him playing 12 games. He's been injured the past 2 years, hasn't played 16 games. First year, didn't play 16 games. So 3 out of 5 years, did not play 16 games. I can't project him to play 16 games. If he does, I really like y'all's chances though. Bold predictions, Donnel Pumphey or Wendall Smallwood win the starting job by season's end. Okay, by season's end, one of those young kids will be starting to me. Carson Wentz, Alshon Jeffery, and Ronald Darby contend for the Pro Bowl. Okay, so look out for that. Not sure if they'll make it, but they will contend. And Derek Barnett, the rookie defensive end out of Tennessee, gets 8+ sacks his rookie season, already producing in the preseason. I wanted to say 10+. In fact, you know, I'll predict this. He'll get 10. How about that for a prediction? Derek Barnett, and he really competes for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Look out for Mr. Barnett. So we look at the schedule for the Philadelphia Eagles, and it's a tough schedule. It's a tough schedule in Philadelphia, okay? NFC East, like I said, for all the other teams, I think you guys split with each and every team. This probably won't happen. Perhaps you'll sweep the Giants as you have in the past, but the Cowboys and Redskins will sweep you. But I feel like the safest thing to say right now for all these teams, because they're so close to me, is a sweep for each and every team. We look at the next division. You guys also go up against the teams from the AFC West. You travel to LA, you travel to Kansas City, you host the Denver Broncos, and you host the Oakland Raiders. Now, to LA, to Kansas City, to me, those are losses, but you could win in LA. I mean, I'm not going to discount that at all. For right now, I'm going to say a loss, but it would not shock me if you guys won that game at all. Hosting the Raiders and hosting the Denver Broncos. I think those are wins. So I think it's 2-2 against the AFC West. So 500 right now, not great, but we'll see how it ends up being. You guys also go up against the teams from the NFC West. This division will be kind to you. Okay, now you travel to Seattle, which is tough, and that hurts. But you go to LA, you host the Cardinals, and you host the 49ers. I see all those are wins. Okay, the Cardinals are dangerous. Look out for that. The Rams in LA will be dangerous. But to me, all of those games are wins. And you guys also go up against the teams that finished concurrently with you in the AFC. This means that you travel to Carolina in Week 6. Difficult game. That's a difficult game right there. I think it's a loss, but it wouldn't shock me either way. And you guys also go up against a team that finished concurrently with you in the NFC from the NFC North, and that would be the Chicago Bears. And this is where you guys really pull through schedule-wise, okay? Because you guys finished last in your division. You guys get the Bears, while the Cowboys get the Packers, while the other teams get like the Vikings and the Lions. You guys get the Bears. That's really nice for you. You love that. Gotta love that. Good for you. Okay, so we look at my win-loss prediction for the Philadelphia Eagles. So best case scenario, honestly, to me, is 12-4. If Carson Wentz improves even more than I'm expecting, he becomes a 30 touchdown to 10 interception guy like Derek Carr did his second year. The Eagles, man, they're 12-4. They're really good. They're dangerous. Because I look at this Eagles team and I'm just asking, are they even worse than the Giants were last year? I mean, look at this defense, man. The defensive line, they're going to be guys flying all over the place. The cornerbacks concern me, but the Giants linebackers aren't very good, right? Every defense has at least one weakness, except for the Broncos of like 2014-15. So I love the defense. I think they're going to fly around 12-4 as possible. Worst case scenario, Carson Wentz doesn't improve. Yet again, he has a disappointing year where you guys blame the wide receivers and the offensive line and this and that. And he only gets 19 touchdowns to maybe 13 interceptions, and that's not good enough. And the Eagles only go 8-8. And again, you'll blame whatever the hell you want to outside of Carson Wentz. Now, my prediction is 10-6 for the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, this is the same record I gave to the Dallas Cowboys. This is the same record initially that I gave to the Cowboys. And this is the same record I gave to the New York Giants. I am not sure who I currently am picking to win this division. I think I'm going to pick the Giants over you guys, though, because the thing that concerns me about you guys more than the Giants, I know what I'm getting from Odell Beckham. I'm getting 16 games, okay? Out of the defenses are similar to me between the Eagles and Giants defense. So, to me, let's just forget about that. Although you guys, to me, have better defensive depth. I do like that. I think the wide receivers will determine this. Because Odell Beckham, you're going to get star production out of him. While Alshon Jeffery, you're going to get really good production out of him, but will he stay healthy? You know, that's the question. If he gets hurt, you're talking to Torrey Smith and Matt Collins and Shelton Gibson. All of a sudden, man, Carson Wentz, again, doesn't have many weapons. They get a lot of drops, and you can't trust the Eagles to win football games anymore. Although the Eagles do have this very good offensive line, I don't think the run game is going to be very good this year. So I think I trust the Giants more. Cowboys, I want to see what happens with this Ezekiel Elliott suspension. Is big for this prediction. But right now, okay, and I'm going to solidify my opinion right before the NFL season starts, so stick around and subscribe for that. Right now, I think the Eagles make the playoffs. And this is a bold prediction, okay? This is bold prediction number 4. I think the Philadelphia Eagles make the playoffs. Y'all know me. Every year I need to have a ridiculous opinion, and I haven't had one yet. But it's about time for one. So I have the Philadelphia Eagles making the playoffs. But guys, again, it's going to require Carson Wentz to be better than he was last year. If he's dependent on one offensive lineman, okay, then maybe this guy isn't that good. So there you go. Those are my thoughts on the Philadelphia Eagles. What are your thoughts? Comment down below. I want to know. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and most importantly, to subscribe. And until next time, this has been MJ of Sports Fan Entertainment, and I'm out. See you all later.